It's time for another edition of NEC On The Run. Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Turner, and to my left is Ron Ratner. Today we're going to talk men's basketball. Ron, after another exciting week of men's basketball, let's take a look at where we stand.
Thanks, Kyle. We are just one game away from the halfway point. I can't believe we are almost there. Halfway through the league season. Where do we stand? We had 3 teams at the top of the standings when we started the week. Only 2 remain at 7-1, Fairleigh Dickinson and Mount St. Mary's. Let's start with the Knights. FDU is off to its best start since the 2004-05 season. That year, the Knights won their 4th NEC title behind Gordon Claver and Chad Timberlake, Tamian Trent, some FDU legends there. This week's marquee matchup pitted FDU and LIU. 2 6-1 teams met in Hackensack on Saturday. FDU controlled this one from the start behind Darian Anderson, the NEC Player of the Week. Anderson scored a game-high 25 points, took him just 9 shots to get there. Also had 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, filled up the stat sheet. Anderson always seems to bring his A game against the Blackbirds. Let's flash back to last year, FDU's 101-95 win over LIU. What a wild game that was. Here he hit this 3-pointer with a minute to go, gave the Knights some breathing room. Later in the season, an 88-85 FDU win in Brooklyn, it was this Darian Anderson jumper with 18 seconds left that decided the game for the Knights. So over 3 seasons, he's averaged 26 points a game in games with LIU. Looking forward to when these 2 teams rematch in Brooklyn later in February. FDU now heads on the road to play St. Francis, Brooklyn, and Bryant, then comes home for 3 straight games. Now let's take a look at Mount St. Mary's, their 7-1 start, best ever for the program, a historically strong program in the Northeast Conference. Last Thursday, Mount Mayhem was in full effect. They hit 13 3-point field goals in an 86-75 win over Sacred Heart. Interesting game here. Mount was up 24 points at the half, but the Pioneers went on a 19-0 run early in the second half, made it a game, but then again, back to the 3-pointer. Mount hit some big ones. Elijah Long gave the Mount some breathing room with this shot. I have to say, Junior Robinson, pretty awesome last week. Shot over 63%, averaged 18 points for the Mount. Next up for the Mountaineers, a 4-game homestand against 4 teams who are sub-500 in the league so far. So they're going to be looking to put some distance between themselves and the pack. And with FDU and the Mount tied for first, LIU still just 1 game behind at 6-2. The game of the week, though, last week had to be the Central Connecticut St. Francis U Tilt that was televised on ESPN3 on Saturday. Nip and tuck battle, but then NEC Rookie of the Week for the 5th time. Keith Braxton sent it to overtime on this coast-to-coast layup near the end of regulation. It looked like the Red Flash had this one well in hand with under 30 seconds to play, but Kevin Seymour hit this 3-pointer with 12 seconds to go, and then Kalen Cumberlander hit him with the hind, hit the biggest shot of his career with this 3-pointer to give Central the win. Not only did he hit the big shot, it was his 1,000th career point, so a double celebration for Kalen. What a way to get it on the road, giving Central their first NEC victory of the year and first-year head coach Danielle Marshall's first conference win. Great job by the Blue Devils, playing in a tough place to win against a very good Red Flash team. And while we're talking about Kalen Cumberlander, Kyle, let's take a Twitter timeout.
All right, Ron, we'll take a Twitter timeout. What do you got for me?
This is from Danielle Marshall, probably the best tweeter of all our head coaches this year. Love his stuff. Congrats to Kalen Cumberlander on getting his 1,000th point on a game-winning 3. I've been on him these past couple weeks, but he's accepting the challenge. Great tweet by Danielle Marshall. Great play by Cumberlander. Good stuff going on in New Britain this past week.
All right, Ron, it's a great tweet by Danielle Marshall. Congratulations to him on his team getting their first win for the head coach. Now let's move on to the Under the Radar segment. What player are you looking at this week?
Kyle, when you play on a team with stellar underclassmen like Bryan has, it's easy to get overlooked. Bryan has Adam Grant, one of the league's leading scorers. They also have a Kenan Aduma, one of the league's best distributors. So Sebastian Towns has kind of flown under the radar to me this year. He was our first Rookie of the Week, but we haven't heard much of him since then, until the last couple of weeks where he's turned his game up a notch. One of the interesting facts I found about Sebastian Towns is that If you look at the points per 40 minutes in the league this year, he actually ranks third with 21.5 points per 40 minutes. Now, he's only playing a shade under 14 minutes a game, but in his time, he's averaging over 7 points. So Towns has been productive. His last 4 games, he's averaging over 13 points, shooting over 62% from the field. So he's a big who really excels down in the paint, gives Bryant another dimension to go along with their strong outside shooting core. So Sebastian Towns, my under-the-radar player.
All right, Ron, well, I'm actually impressed that you looked at an advanced statistic like that, points per 40 minutes played. That's impressive. But now let's shift focus to the who said it. Let's see if I can go back-to-back weeks on getting the quote.
Thanks for the compliment, Kyle. It means a lot. Okay, who said it? Here we go. What are you now, 2 out of 3 this year?
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3. This is the team we have to try and get through if we want to accomplish something special. We knew that. We talked that they are in our way, and they are still in our way. Who said it?
I'm going to go with Greg Horrenda.
Close. It was the team that FDU played on Saturday. We're going back to LIU Brooklyn and Jack Perry.
Well, that's not fair. You went Jack Perry back-to-back weeks.
You got to be on your toes in the
All
who
right.
said it game, okay? Jack Perry and LIU, tough loss against FDU. As I mentioned earlier, February 11th, they'll have the rematch in Brooklyn. Still, you have 2 of the best teams in the league, and we'll see if LIU can make the adjustments and come up with the win when they rematch with the defending NEC champs and league leaders, FDU.
All right, Ron, well, now I'm 2 for 4, 50%. Still not that bad. Earlier in the show, you talked about points per 40 minutes played. I can't believe you can top that, but give me something in the did you know.
Okay, I'll take the challenge. Kyle, do you want to know why St. Francis used Keith Braxton as a 5-time NEC Rookie of the Week, including 3 awards in the 4 weeks of league play?
Go ahead, tell me.
All right, this is why. In conference play, Braxton, who's just, remember, he's a freshman. He ranks in the top 15 in the NEC stats in no less than 8 different individual categories. I mean, check him out right here. Scoring, rebounding, assists, field goal, free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, steals, assist to turnover ratio. There's nothing he doesn't do. He's, I've said it before, he's lethal on the fast break. He's stronger than other guards. He can shoot. He's pretty much the complete package. And you don't become a 5-time weekly honoree without having something to back it up.
That's a good point, Ron, and this seems to be a recurring theme on the show as we talk about the youth movement throughout the NEC week to week. And some of that youth will be on display this week. We got a lot of TV games coming up. Ron, tell me about the NEC TV games.
Kyle, it will be tough to beat that Central SFU game. Also be tough to beat the Spurs-Cavs game from the weekend. Go Spurs. It all starts on Wednesday in New Britain when Central hosts New England rival Bryant, 7 o'clock on MSG Plus and Fox College Sports. We'll see if Central can keep the momentum going, and Bryant comes off a good win at Robert Morris as well. We're back the next night. Big national game, Mount St. Mary's and Robert Morris down in Emmitsburg. The atmosphere should be tremendous down there. It always is. That's a great rivalry from years back. Mount and Robert Morris always go at it tooth and nail. 7 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. Then we're back on Saturday, a noon game on MSG and Fox College Sports. You got league leader FDU at Bryant. That should be an up and down, fun game, lots of points. 12 o'clock, MSG and Fox College Sports. Big week for us on NEC TV.
A lot of good matchups on TV, and fans, also don't forget you can check out all other league games on NECFrontRow.com. That's it for this week's edition of the NEC On The Run, talking men's basketball with Ron Ratner. For NECFrontRow.com, I'm Kyle Turner. We'll see you next week.